So, according to the recent MLS owners meeting on Jekyll Island, then they hopped on a train, went over to Mar-a-Lago. From there, they crawled down into Trump's basement and out-walked Gianni Infantino, the president of FIFA. The president of FIFA. Okay, the jokes aside, the real story here is the president of FIFA came into town to meet with the MLS owners about these recent changes and future MLS changes in the coming off season, because the first changes are right now in the middle of the season, and they start with this: an option of either 3 DPs, 3 U22s, or 4 U22s at $2 million of GAM, along with 4 U22s and 2 DPs. So like you could have, it's really weird. And then you have 2 buyouts.
Where's the 4th DP? What? Just God.
Yeah, where's the 4th DP?
I got it.
And then a max of $3 million in GAM, so more money, more funny money to bring in top players. In the middle of the season, but at the end of the season, there might be something big happening.
So that's going to happen in the summer window. After I don't know if it's going to happen when the summer window starts, which I guess that's probably what we're aiming for. But it's going to be an option of 3 DPs and 3 U22 players.
So together.
So you can get 3 DPs and 3 U22 players. That's big.
So hold on. What a question, sir? Question.
Yes.
Is a U22 spot, what's the max salary for that? Is it like a DP? Does it hit you at a certain level, but you could spend anything?
I think it's age based. So if we sign them when they're under 22,
it only hits at a certain cap level, and then we can pay them whatever the hell we want to pay them.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, that's like 6 DPs. I could live with that, but you're
always if you get the right ones. Or the other option.
You'll go ahead.
The other option is you get 2 DPs and 4 U22 players and $2 million GAM.
Why does Gaston Jimenez need $2 million more?
Hey, hold on. There's more. Wait, there's more.
There's more.
There's more. You get a new 2 buyouts per season.
Yes, that's the big news. That's the big news. Lugano's going to be awesome next year.
All right. Not to mention, max $3 million in GAM on transfer revenue per year.
Okay. You know what? That's okay. That's another play. That's one
I wish they got rid of that.
Just get rid of all these.
I wish they would just get rid of all this crap and just say
Tam.
Just raise just 10x the salary cap.
Just tell them, hey, here's your salary cap and figure it out.
Exactly. Just have the US born, and then that's the other thing they need to fix. Like Canadian teams should get credit for having Canadian players versus like US. You know what I mean? Like they should be able.
I think they do.
Okay, because I think for a while there, the Canadian team had to have like a certain number of Americans on them too. It was weird. It was whatever it was. It was weird, and I didn't like it.
So in other words.
Or Canadian domestic players. Yeah, that's what it says now.
So, in other words, MLS is kind of gearing itself towards competing in the bigger stage. So now, if you're talking about having 3 DPs and 3 U22 players, now you're really able to compete with Liga MX. Possibly overtake them too.
Here's the fact of the matter is most of the DP signings to this point were so limited that you had to be right. Like you had to catch somebody you knew was already good. The thing I kind of like about this, but is going to piss everybody off, because like I joked, it's like having 6 DPs, but the problem is the U22 players are all a risk. And it's like, and so it's allowing our teams to take the kind of risks on younger guys that the rest of the world can, because they just eat it, right? They don't have salary caps to worry about. But that's going to be a problem for fans. They're going to get on these kids, man, because kids pan out or they flame out, man. It happens, you know. We just talked about comical.
I want to update the Canada-based club's rules because they actually have an extra wrinkle to their team roster development. It's actually super interesting. So first off, they must have a minimum of actually 3 Canadian domestic players. A minimum, but beyond that minimum, U.S. domestic players also qualify as domestic players for Canadian clubs.
Whoa.
So they get the dual benefit of Canadian players, U.S. domestic players, and anybody from refugee asylum status. But they must have,
so that all qualifies for the domestic.
But they must have 3 Canadians total at least.
This is the U22 initiative in the MLS. This is the rule.
Mm-hmm.
The U22 initiative allows MLS clubs to sign players 22 and younger who hit the cap at a fixed low cost as well, and crucially, not having to factor in the transfer fee to the budget charge.
Oh, no transfer fee. That's actually awesome. We're going to be able to take a lot of risks now.
We're going to be doing a lot of
added
wheeling and
buyout.
dealing.
Yeah, and with the added buyout, you can take another risk and just buy. You know what I mean? Like this is okay for what we have. Like it's part of it gets me excited because I know we'll never get what we deserve. So it's like, but what we, it's nice to have some change, but this is still just not enough.
This is how we get rid of Gaston.
Right? 100%. If this had been active earlier, Gaston would not be on this team, which I would be very happy with.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of these rules that are ready right now in the middle of the season would be helpful to Georg Heitz last season. Interesting updates in the U.S. Open Cup. Chicago Fire 2 play this upcoming Wednesday at Bridgeview, SeatGeek Stadium, 8 p.m. Chicago Standard. Eastern time. So that's 7 p.m. CST. I think the tickets still might be free. Don't quote me on that, but out in SeatGeek Bridgeview, so that'll be fun on a Wednesday night, April 17th. However, they played their first real game this week. They won. They did well.
Oh, good.
So, they get to keep that quote unquote that mojo going. So hopefully they get a win against Indy 11, which will be a fun, little derby in a way.
It's nice. They and like how sad are like this kind of makes me sad because think about it. We played Chicago City, we played Forward Madison, we're about to play Indy 11. How dope would it have been if the first team had played those guys? Now I do slightly feel bad saying that because but I slightly feel bad for saying that because the kids are doing amazing on that team, honestly. But like, how cool would that have been to just like, the Chicago Fire get to play these teams? Like, I don't know. It just makes you like, it tears in my heart. I'm really happy to see the kids doing well, but it makes me sad because I wish we were.
That could have been us. That could have been us.
Could have been us, but Nelson Rodriguez is playing.
Toke, did you have something about Messi that you wanted to bring up?
I just brought up the fact that he scored an amazing goal. Like that I mean, we have to mention Messi in the Messi League soccer. But
I didn't know if you had a rant. I didn't know if you had a rant.
I feel like I'm slightly vindicated because I told you it wasn't a big deal. He'd be back. It'd be fine. He's an older player. He's going to miss games. It happens.
Nice.
Miami's still going to be good. DPG is still hates fun. Well, hold on. Okay. So before we take a break, can I bring this up?
Yeah.
Okay, go.
I personally am getting so sick of the Premier League, and I will tell you why. Not because the games aren't fun; they're fun.
Perfect spot for it.
I cannot deal with a world and a reality where you're going to continually take points from Everton and Nottingham Forest when Manchester City is unimpeded to just do whatever. Like, it's such a rigged system because it's ridiculous, man. Don't have the rules. If the rules are going to punish people like Everton and Nottingham Forest, who cares, dude? Then they're stupid rules.
It should be more like MLB baseball.
Yeah, there's no MFing way that Manchester City is above board with these rules. There's no way. It's not possible. And I'm sure there's other offenders.
Guys, there's no way Leicester was above these rules when they made their miracle run.
Don't you dare besmirch the
I
greatest
love
sporting thing
Leicester.
that happened in our lifetime. Well, hold on, that's a question. What's the greatest thing that happened sporting wise in our lifetimes? A Cubs World Series or a Leicester City Premier
White
League?
Sox World Series was almost as rare.
Well, that too. You're right. 80
Yeah.
some odd years.
It's Cubs for me, man. Cubs for me. Leicester City. You know what?
Blackhawks, baby.
The thing about Premier League, you always have a random team that wins it every other decade.
20, 30 years. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like in
So
the
no,
90s.
What do you guys actually think about this? Like, I hate it. I think it's so dumb. And I'm not even an Everton fan. I don't care what happens to him since Tim Howard left.
I didn't even hear what happened. So it just sounds like they're getting docked points or something for some sort of FPP
remember
thing.
Earlier
FPP,
in the season,
first off, is a scam. FPP is a scam. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. If Manchester City doesn't have any points deductions, then don't you dare tell me Everton deserves them. You know what I mean?
Everton should have got a better lawyers like Manchester City.
Mm-hmm.
That's so crazy to me. Like, that's so, like, they lost 10 points earlier. They got reduced to like something like 5. Then they got docked another 2 this past weekend. Like, they're just like they're like, it's like an HOA.
They're like someone wants to get them relegated. That's all that means.
Exactly. Their points deductions are like how my fucking parking tickets pile up, dude. It's crazy. They're gonna repo Everton pretty soon, man. Back to the football league with you.
Back to the National League.
Yeah, right. We're gonna move this thing all the way back to the National League.
They're right below Wrexham.
Oh my! This is garbage. This is absolute garbage. So here's what they did. Everton had already received a 6-point deduction, which was gracefully reduced from their original 10-point deduction to 6 following an appeal by the higher powers that be in the EPL for overspending in a 3-year spell up until the end of 2021-2022. The latest punishment, which added another 2 points to that, handed out by an independent commission, came after Everton was found to have spent too much in the 3 seasons up to the following year. So they take the last 3 years,
my theory.
And then so they roll it over, and so it's like, of course they're gonna roll over. But let me finish this, because here's what it amounts to. They got to lose a maximum of 105 million pounds, which is about 100. Let's go in U.S. dollars. They get to lose 132 million dollars over a 3-year period. They overspent that margin apparently by 21 million dollars. So the cost of
they lost
a football
$21
player,
million more.
So the cost of a wide receiver over in the NFL, they're getting punished almost to the point where they could get kicked out of the league. That
and Everton will not ridiculous. Back up,
especially when Manchester City and all the other big clubs like them are able to really just have. They don't have these limits.
You know what it is, bro. You know what it is. This is how it works. This is
allegedly.
They probably cooked the books. They probably got great lawyers, and when they do signings, they're like, "Hey, we're gonna pay you this, but let us know when you get to your new home, and look in the basement.
Here's the key.
Here's the key
to the safe.
Wink, wink.
It's garbage. I know. I've singled out Man City, but Chelsea too has been just spending like drunken sailors for.
Chelsea's just like throwing money away, bro.
Exactly. There's no possible way they're in compliance with these rules.
No, bro.
No, they are in compliance because they wrote the rules. They wrote the rules. And here's how it works. If you have a big enough pocketbook behind you, you don't have to worry, which these Chelseas and the Manchester Cities do. And because they were at the top of the league, they basically already were built in with a larger allocation of money that they could spend at this. The game is rigged from the start. It might even go back to 1992-93 when they started the Premiership.
This is like this. This is how it is. Chelsea. Hey, Diego Moreira, welcome to Chelsea. By the way, as a president from the owner of the club, here's your brand new car. When you get home, open the trunk. Wink, wink. That's all it is,
and
man.
there's piles of more money in there.
Yeah, they're like, here's your contract. It might look a little low, but
we know their contracts are not looking a little low. They get reported. They're not looking a little low.
They get reported. You're right. They do get reported at a certain rate.
Mm-hmm.
I hate it. Get rid of the rules. If you're gonna let the Chelseas and Man Cities get away with it, get rid of it. There's no reason. There's no reason to punish the Evertons and the people who are gonna give you the best games and fight things out. You know.
Let me ask you this. You saw how quick MLS was to find out the whole situation with Miami, where Miami was playing these guys under the table.
Yeah, with Mutweedy or
yeah. Do you think that the EPL, with all its might and all its investment, do you think they waste their times trying to investigate if players get paid under the table?
Apparently,
no.
Because
no.
No.
You think teams like Manchester City, with all that oil money, can get away with signing all these players, go over that freaking PSF, whatever it's called, and not get busted for it? Because keep in mind, you're right. Chelsea's been signing a lot of players. They've been signing a lot of contracts, and they have not been busted for this. Which gets me
nothing, not a word, which is just garbage.
Which gets me thinking: either A, they have really good lawyers; B, they're cooking the books; or C,
all of the above.
All the above, and they probably got some offshore bank account.
Mm-hmm.
With some, with the guys, a fake company and a crap load of money in the Bahamas, and that's it.
Allegedly.
Do you see how slowly Newcastle is getting built up? They could have done it in one season, but they're like, okay, let's do this slow so we don't get in trouble. It's just it's just all of it's dumb, man. I know.
It sucks that the lower end teams are getting busted for it, but then the guys in the top, the big spenders, are untouchable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's what's garbage about it, because again, Man City and Chelsea are two giant offenders of this, and it's just in the Premier League, because we know Barcelona, all that other nonsense over there.
Oh, dude, Barcelona and Real Madrid, bro. Barcelona now is kind of calming down because they're broke.
After
they're
Messi
struggling,
left,
they're trying to make money. Real Madrid, that's a whole different other case, man. That's like those guys spend money, like crazy. They don't care.
No,
they'll throw money at anybody.
And I mean, I'm for it, because I don't like the MLS model of the salary cap, but also, like, if you're gonna have those rules, enforce them for real, or just don't. Like, just don't.
We all know.
But then you also have your situations like Bayern Munich, best team, probably one of the much better teams, the best team in the Bundesliga. I'm not gonna kid around. Maybe not this season, but for the most part, those guys don't need to spend like crazy because they're always gonna dominate the league. They don't care,
For me, Thomas Tuchel going to Bayern Munich and
Bayern's
not getting a trophy.
Holy shit, they're gonna lose to Leverkusen.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah,
it makes me so happy that, like, Thomas Tuchel isn't gonna win. But God, do I just feel like we need to put a watch out for Harry Kane. Dude leaves Tottenham to go to a club that's guaranteed at least a trophy, and he's gonna play for them for the one season before they ship him out, where they don't win a trophy. It's gonna kind of be sick.
Dude, I gotta look at this Leverkusen team, and then let's close up this.
Yeah, bro. 16. They're what? They're 16 points above Bayern Munich, bro.
I know, it's sexy, isn't it? It's beautiful. Do you remember the last time a non-Bayern Munich club won?
Oh God, it's been so long, man.
Their captain is their goalkeeper, Hradecki, Lucas Hradecki from Finland. Joseph Stanisic. Do you recognize Jonathan Tah? I recognize.
Yeah, Tah is having a huge season.
Hincapi, Kosonu, Hoffman. Stop me if you recognize anybody. Andrich, Borja Iglesias, Florian Wirtz, Edmund
Works for
Tapsoba.
sure.
Florian Wirtz, I
Yeah,
recognize.
Florian works.
He's
and
their number 10.
That's why are they so good? That's the reason.
Borja Iglesias is their number 9. Edmund Tapsoba. Where is this guy from? BFA. Burkinabe from Burkina Faso.
Yeah, Burkina Faso.
So in other words,
well, wait, hold on.
Arthur.
Who in MLS was from Burkina Faso? It wasn't
oh,
it wasn't Kai. It wasn't
Nope.
it wasn't Oduro.
I know. Oh man, you know what?
Oh God! No,
Oh, they
that's
got
gonna
some-
bother the shit out of me.
They got a few people here. Like this guy was.
They do.
Like this is kind of crazy. Their owner was playing some football manager and FIFA. a
No,
lot.
dude.
Like
No, they
Jonathan
put
Ta. Listen to this: Victor Boniface, Jeremy
Ricky
Frimpong,
Boniface is good.
Granit Xhaka, Nicholas
But you know what?
Long,
You know what this reminds me of though?
Timothy Fosu Mensah.
No, you know what this reminds me of?
Yeah.
What's that?
Moneyball.
Nabamba. I'm sorry, Mabamba.
This
He
is like
moneyballed these
a,
guys.
Yeah, this
You're
is like
right.
a Moneyball. This is like a Moneyball team.
Yeah.
A bunch of players that not a whole lot of people know, but they're beating the crap out of the team that everybody knows.
Well, they brought in some youth guys too that were tabbed to be pretty good a while ago.
Don't be
Everything's coming up
surprised.
Leverkusen.
Don't be surprised in a couple of years if Leverkusen keeps this up, or even if they don't keep it up, this is going to be like a study.
Bayern's
why-
coming for some of these players probably next
This is going
season.
to be like a
Oh, they're
statistic.
Bayern's
be
going to
studying-
pick apart this team,
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
just like they
they're going to
always do.
study. They're going to study this squad. In a couple of years, they're going to be like, why did Leverkusen like?
Oh yeah.
Beat up.
Everybody's gonna play the Leverkusen
Palacios.
way for the
Ezekiel
next like 3
Palacios.
seasons. You're right,
They got a team.
dude.
Yeah,
I gotta say this. I think the last team that won was Wolfsburg.
yeah.
I
remember
think
that
that was
what-
the last team that
Is that
won.
one? No, Bro wasn't on that team. Who was on that team?
No,
Oh, I-
Shrundolo was always at Hanover. He was the mayor of Hanover.
Yeah, Wolfsburg, man. And look at Wolfsburg. They're not even in the
No, they're in the
Bundesliga.
second division. And
Yeah.
it's wild. to think,
Wild. And
All
they
right,
won.
so
speaking of wild, let's shut it down and come back and talk the fire. Sound like a plan?
Yes.
All right. Well, thanks
Let's
for hanging
do
out
it.
here on Enemies of Fire. Make sure you guys kick that like button like it's a corner kick. You want to curl it into the upper right corner, just around the goalkeeper's outstretched palm, and you score just like when you punch that like button. All right. We'll see you guys on the flip side.